So it looked like Caitlyn Clark has arrived in North Carolina to make her big return back to the basketball court.
So it looked like Caitlyn Clark has arrived in North Carolina to make her big return back to the basketball court. A video just dropped that has the basketball world buzzing. Caitlyn Clark arrived in North Carolina for Team USA duties, and social media absolutely exploded. She hasn't touched a basketball court since early July, and now she's back with cameras rolling. The haters spent months claiming her influence was fading, that the WNBA would move on without her. Then one simple arrival video proved how wrong they were. Before we break this down, how hyped are you to see Caitlyn back on the court? Let us know in the comments.
Caitlyn Clark officially arrives in North Carolina for Team USA camp. More importantly, we got Sue Bird talking about how did Stephanie White get in there? Why is she here? Why is she here? What's she doing over here?
USA Basketball's official account posted a video of Caitlyn Clark arriving at their facility in North Carolina, and the internet immediately lost its mind. We're talking about a simple arrival video. Her pulling up, getting greeted, walking into the building. Nothing fancy, no major announcement, just Caitlyn showing up, and it broke the internet. The video came directly from Team USA's social media team because there's no regular media presence at these training sessions. Everything we're seeing is what USA Basketball decides to share, and they knew exactly what they were doing, posting that Caitlyn Clark content first. Think about the timeline here. Caitlyn hasn't played competitive basketball since early July. We're now in mid-December. That's 5 months of no Caitlyn Clark on the court. 5 months of fans waiting, wondering when they'd see her play again. 5 months of the WNBA offseason dragging on without the league's biggest draw doing anything publicly basketball related. The hunger for Caitlyn Clark content during this break has been real. WNBA engagement dropped significantly after the season ended. The offseason news cycles focused on other players, other storylines, but none of it generated the same level of sustained interest. Then USA Basketball posts one arrival video, and suddenly everyone's paying attention again. Aaliyah Boston is also there for this Team USA situation, which makes sense given her role with the Fever and her own national team aspirations. Having that Fever connection there probably makes Caitlyn more comfortable as she returns to competitive basketball after such a long break. The timing of this return matters. Caitlyn's been relatively quiet on social media during the offseason. She's posted occasionally, but nothing compared to the constant content we saw during the season. Some people criticized her for not maintaining that social media presence, arguing she should be doing more to keep her fan base engaged and grow her brand. But here's the thing, when she does show up, even just arriving at a building, it becomes massive news. That's the power of strategic absence combined with genuine star power. She doesn't need to post every day to maintain relevance. One appearance generates more buzz than most players get in a month of constant posting. Lexi Hall posted a TikTok with Caitlyn earlier the same day where they did that marshmallow challenge, trying to fit as many marshmallows in their mouths as possible. Typical silly social media content, but even that got significant attention purely because Caitlyn was in it. Everything she touches generates interest. The reaction online to the Team USA arrival video was immediate and intense. Comments flooded in about the queen of women's sports being back, about how everyone missed seeing her, about excitement for what's coming. USA Basketball's content team has to be thrilled with the engagement numbers. This brings up an interesting question about content strategy during this Team USA camp. The WNBA isn't involved here, so we're completely dependent on USA Basketball's media team for content. They control what gets filmed, what gets shared, how much access fans get, and based on that first arrival video, they understand the assignment. They know Caitlyn Clark content drives engagement. They know fans have been starving for any glimpse of her playing basketball. The slow motion entrance they gave her her in that video wasn't an accident. That was deliberate production value, acknowledging who the star is. Now, some people might say that's unfair to the other players at the camp. Angel Reese is there. Other talented players are there. Shouldn't they get equal coverage? In a perfect world where engagement and interest were evenly distributed, sure. But that's not reality. Caitlyn Clark generates more views, more comments, more shares than other players. That's not opinion. That's measurable fact.
Camp overseen by Kara Lawson, Duke's own women's basketball coach, who was appointed to lead the Team USA through 2028. It's also the first camp for Managing Director Sue Bird, the four-time Olympic gold medalist now responsible for assembling the next World Cup and Olympic rosters.
USA Basketball would be foolish not to capitalize on that. They're trying to grow interest in women's basketball. Using your biggest star to do that makes complete sense. The rebrand conversation is interesting too. Caitlyn switched agents during the offseason, and there's speculation about how her new representation will position her going forward. This Team USA appearance could be the start of that rebrand. A fresh return to basketball after time away, building toward next WNBA season with renewed energy and focus. Her Time magazine cover is still making rounds online. Shadar Sanders liked her Instagram post about Aaliyah Boston's birthday. She's maintaining cultural relevance even during the off-season when she's not actively playing. That's rare. Most athletes fade from conversation when they're not competing. Caitlyn remains a topic. The 5-month break from basketball is actually significant from a fan perspective. Absence makes the heart grow fonder, as they say. People genuinely missed watching her play. The WNBA playoffs happened without her after the Fever were eliminated. And while those games had their moments, the energy wasn't the same. Caitlyn brings something to women's basketball that transcends just her individual talent. She brings an excitement factor and unpredictability about what might happen when she's on the court. Will she hit a shot from 30 feet? Will she thread an impossible path? Fans tune in not knowing what they'll see, but knowing it'll probably be memorable. USA Basketball hasn't had this kind of individual star power generate this much attention for women's basketball in a while. Sure, they've had great players, Olympic champions, legends of the game, but the social media era changes how star power translates to engagement. Caitlyn is built for this moment in time where everything is content and virality matters. The haters who spent the off-season saying Caitlyn's moment was over, that the league would move on, that other players would take her spot in the cultural conversation, they're awfully quiet right now. One arrival video generating that much buzz proves the staying power is real. Some people tried to argue that Sophie Cunningham topping Google searches meant the landscape had shifted, or that A'ja Wilson's Time Magazine Athlete of the Year award meant she was taking over as the face of women's basketball. Then Caitlyn shows up to Team USA and reminds everyone what actual sustained interest looks like. No shade to Sophie or A'ja or anyone else. But there are levels to this. Caitlyn operates on a different level of cultural impact that doesn't make other players less talented or less accomplished. It's just acknowledging reality about who moves the needle most. The engagement question for the off-season was whether fans would stay interested without Caitlyn playing. Would they follow other storylines, other players, other content? The answer seems to be no, not really. People stayed somewhat engaged, but that passionate energy that defined the regular season when Caitlyn was playing wasn't there. Now she's back, and immediately that energy returns. People are excited again. They're checking for updates, watching videos, commenting and sharing. That's the difference between a star and a superstar. Stars are popular when they're performing. Superstars make people care even when they're just showing up. USA Basketball is going to milk this for everything it's worth. And honestly, they should. They have limited opportunities to showcase women's basketball between Olympic cycles. Having Caitlyn Clark involved gives them a platform and attention they wouldn't otherwise have at this level. The production value on that arrival video suggests they're taking this seriously. Slow motion, good angles, posting it immediately. That's not casual social media management. That's a coordinated effort to maximize impact. What happens next will be interesting. Will USA Basketball share practice footage, behind-the-scenes content, scrimmage highlights? Fans are hungry for all of it. After 5 months without seeing Caitlyn play, every piece of content they release with her in it will get significant engagement. The Aaliyah Boston connection is smart too. She's beloved by Fever fans and respected across the league. Having her there alongside Caitlyn creates natural storyline opportunities about their Fever chemistry translating to Team USA, about how they push each other, about their friendship off the court. Other players at the camp will benefit from the attention too. When people tune in for Caitlyn Clark content, they'll see the other players. They'll get exposed to talents they might not otherwise watch. That's how star power lifts everyone, by bringing eyeballs to the sport that then discover other players worth following. The haters wanted to believe that women's basketball had evolved beyond needing Caitlyn Clark, that the league was big enough, established enough, popular enough to thrive without one player dominating attention. The offseason proved otherwise. Interest waned, engagement dropped. Then she shows up and everything spikes again. That doesn't mean women's basketball can't exist without her. Obviously it can and does, but the gap between baseline interest and peak interest is enormous, and Caitlyn represents that peak. USA Basketball recognizes that. Smart marketing means leveraging your biggest asset. The question isn't whether Caitlyn deserves this attention. Her game and her impact answer that. The question is, how do other players in the league itself build on it? How do they convert Caitlyn Clark fans into broader WNBA fans? That's the challenge. For now though, the story is simple. Caitlyn Clark arrived at Team USA training, one video dropped, and the internet remembered why she's the biggest name in women's basketball. The haters can try to explain it away, try to diminish it, try to argue about privilege or media bias or whatever narrative makes them feel better, but numbers don't lie. That arrival video got more engagement than most WNBA content gets during the actual season. That's not because of media manipulation or unfair coverage. That's because people genuinely want to see Caitlyn Clark. They're interested in what she does, how she performs, what comes next in her story. USA Basketball hit gold. Having her involved in this camp, the attention, the eyeballs, the social media buzz, it all serves their goals of growing interest in women's basketball and building hype for international competition. Caitlyn brings that automatically just by showing up. The 5 months away built anticipation. People miss what they don't have. Caitlyn's absence from competitive basketball made her return that much more anticipated. USA Basketball gets to be the vehicle for that return, and they're clearly ready to maximize it. One arrival video and the entire basketball internet exploded. That's the Caitlyn Clark effect in action. After 5 months away, the haters said we'd move on, but here we are hanging on every second of footage. If you're hyped for this Team USA content, smash that like button and subscribe so you don't miss a single update. Because if one arrival got this much attention, the actual basketball footage is going to be insane.